What's up everybody, this is Danny, and today I'm going to be fully comparing the two hottest phones on the market right now, the Samsung Galaxy Note 5 and the Apple iPhone 6s Plus. We're going to compare everything you need to know about these two phones that are important, including a full head-to-head shootout of these impressive cameras, speed, build quality, specs, and much more. So let's go ahead and get started with this epic full comparison of the Galaxy Note 5 and the iPhone 6s Plus. Let's start with the build quality first, and what's nice is both of these phones are built with premium materials. So the iPhone 6s has about the same design as last year with a few minor improvements like the stronger 7000 series aluminum and the new screen tech, but the curve size and the large antenna band brakes are carried over to this year's 6s. The slightly curved glass on the display and the soft metal finish feels premium, but it can also be really slippery. The Galaxy Note 5 gets a brand new design this year with a full glass back and metal design carried over from their Galaxy S6, and it looks absolutely beautiful. The glass on the back is curved and it contours to the hand nicely and gives it a more natural feel in the hand compared to the iPhone. Now size wise they are very close, but the Note 5 is slightly smaller, but the feel in pocket is really no different. By the way, if you're wondering how I got my iPhone this black leather look and my Note 5 this wood look, I get this question all the time. So this is possible by applying a deep brand skin, and it looks incredible and gives an awesome feel in the hand. So if you're interested, I will leave a link below for you. Really, I think it is a personal preference, but in my opinion, I think the Note 5 has a more premium design and feel in hand. But if you're in the market for these phones, you already know both of them are going to be large phones, so you should be prepared. The Note 5 has a 5.7-inch Quad HD Super AMOLED display, and this is hands down the best display on the market right now. You really have to see this display to believe it. It is super sharp, bright, full of inky blacks and vibrant colors, and it is one of the best mobile multimedia experiences out there, period. The iPhone 6 Plus has a slightly smaller 5.5-inch screen size, but it has a 1080p IPS display, and while it does have a lower resolution screen, it is one of the best in class when it comes to 1080p panels. Great colors, great viewing angles, and pretty sharp, but not as sharp as the Note 5 naturally, but you won't be disappointed. Hands down though, the winner is the Note 5 when it comes to the display. When you put them side by side, that's where you can really tell the difference. The Note 5 has the best display on the market. Performance-wise, these two phones are blazing fast, but their means to achieve this speed couldn't be more different. The Note 5 has an 8-core Exynos processor with a whopping 4GB of RAM, where the iPhone 6 Plus takes a more moderate approach with a dual-core A9 processor and 2GB of RAM. You would think that the Note 5 would be at least twice as fast, but even in the benchmarks, the performance is much closer than you would think it is. The iPhone of course loses in multi-core, but gains in single-core performance. The reason why performance is great with lower end specs on the Apple side is that the iPhone 6s Plus runs iOS, and Apple is in full control of their software and hardware to optimize performance for their platform. The Note 5 runs Android, where you get more customization features and arguably more cutting-edge search and user experience options, but this is an entire argument or video on its own. But really all of this boils down to that both of these phones will not let you down in terms of performance when it comes to daily tasks. Both of the fingerprint scanners work great with mobile payment systems available on both sides. Games are amazing to play no matter how intensive the games are. The frame rates are smooth with minimal heat issues, and both of them have great battery life, and it will get you through the entire day. But in my experience, the battery life on the iPhone 6s Plus is slightly better and gave me at least about an hour's worth more of usage time on the average than the Note 5, but the Note 5 does support quick charging and wireless charging that's built in to make up for that. The biggest difference though is how these two companies want you to interact with your phone. The Note 5 continues their improvement of the S Pen, where you have a built-in stylus to help you with productivity apps and quick note-taking like you can do here by just pulling out the pen and writing immediately. Dispensing the pen will bring up a quick menu where you can perform a variety of functions or even add app shortcuts. You can take a screenshot, long scroll captures, or add notes and diagrams to your project with ease. Plus, this clickable pen is super addicting. Seriously. Apple, on the other hand, is expanding the way you interact with your phone by introducing 3D Touch, where the screen itself can detect different levels of pressure from your finger. This technology was first implemented in the Apple Watch as Force Touch and is being used across the OS as in to view live pictures, to bring up quick menus so you can call your favorite contact without opening the dialer, initiate a quick FaceTime call or text, or starting a quick email. This is limited at this time, but more and more apps are being added daily, and this could be a game changer once this tech is further implemented. Let's get to the most important comparison that I know you've been waiting for, and it's finally time for it. This is the camera comparison. The Note 5 has a 16 megapixel camera with optical image stabilization, and the iPhone 6s Plus has a new 12 megapixel camera also with optical image stabilization. When it comes to the software, the iPhone is super simple and it's designed for you to just point and shoot at the subject. There is best-in-class slow motion, HDR, live photos, and finally 4K video, which is a nice inclusion. The Note 5 has the best camera shortcut to launch the camera with a double press of the home button carried over from the Galaxy S6, and it's really useful and very fast. Samsung software works well on auto as well, but the app is also giving the shooter much more freedom with a full manual mode for the photos and many more options for videos such as live streaming to YouTube. Of course, 4K video is available here on the Note 5, which I think is actually slightly better on the Note 5 in my testing. This is a hard comparison because both of them have excellent image quality, have fast shutters with burst mode enabled, and is just basically nitpicking, and you will not be disappointed with either of these cameras. So which one of these cameras is actually better? Well, it's kind of a mixed bag on the results, but let's take a look. After taking a look at about 50 comparison photos, there's one unifying theme here, and that is the iPhone 6s Plus shoots with a little bit more natural color, and it does shoot with higher contrast levels. On the Note 5, there is some over sharpening happening here. It's not as aggressive as some of their past camera software, where the iPhone 6s is a little bit more natural when it comes to the processing. When it comes to macro, I did find that the lower aperture rating on the Note 5 gives it a little bit better depth of field, so you're going to get a better bokeh effect with the Note 5, but once again, this is pretty minimal. None of these shots were taken with HDR because I just wanted to show off the natural dynamic range of both of the sensors, but you can see here clearly that the iPhone 6s Plus just has much more contrast in your shots, so if you favor warmer color tones with a higher contrast, then you're going to favor the iPhone 6s Plus. The Note 5 does have a higher resolution sensor with 16 megapixel versus 12 megapixel, and you can tell that when you crop in. Look at where the Note 5 is, where the soldier's face, that is way more detailed, and you can see a little bit more there in the Note 5 shot. I also like the Note 5 because it takes full resolution pictures in 16:9, where the iPhone 6s is limited to the 4:3. Well, at least with stock software. Both of the front-facing cameras are 5 megapixel, but the Note 5 has such a better wide-angle lens that you can capture so much more in the background. These are held at the exact same distance, so I much prefer the image on the Note 5. Low light performance is always a toss-up, but the Note 5 here, you can tell it captured about the same image, but the iPhone 6s was able to capture the difference in color in the street light versus the sky itself. The Note 5's camera tend to overexpose to get more image detail, where the iPhone 6s has more natural colors and also natural exposure. So if you look at them, some people might prefer that Note 5 image, but the iPhone 6s Plus looks absolutely more real. Having that better aperture rating definitely helps with low light here in the Note 5. On the indoor shots, look at how dim the shot here is on the iPhone 6s Plus compared to the Note 5, so it's letting a lot more light in. This was also apparent when I used the candle as the subject and focused on the candle, that you can see that the Note 5 image captures a little bit more light here and more detail. For the background, you can actually see what's on the counter. When it came to colors overall though, I thought the iPhone 6s Plus had more natural colors when it came to the image capture, especially outside here. The Note 5 tends to oversaturate and overexpose in these kind of conditions, where the iPhone 6s Plus, maybe the image is not as clear, but it is a better representation of what your eye is seeing at that time. Look at this light against this brick. The Note 5 tends to oversaturate a bit and give it some poppier colors, where the iPhone 6s shoots in more of a neutral and flat color tone. In auto mode, I have to say that the Note 5 sometimes misses the mark here and compared to the iPhone 6s where it hits it spot on, but that is the difference here, is because even though this iPhone 6s Plus shot looks pretty good in low light, there's a lot of things wrong with this shot, and if you use the manual mode on the Note 5, you can expose it however you want it, and you can even properly expose it if you dial down everything correctly and you have that power with the Note 5 with stock software. With manual mode in full effect, you can even see the words on the sign in the background cropped in. So this is pretty cool that you can do this on a mobile camera. These characteristics carry over to the 4K video side as well, where the Note 5 tends to overexpose slightly and has some extra saturation, where the iPhone 6s Plus shoots a little bit flatter in color with a little bit less exposure and higher contrast. I think really it's just a matter of preference, but what do you guys think? Let me know in the comment section below which one of these phones you thought had the better image quality. So really, both of these phones are incredible, and if I had to make a choice and you care about my opinion, I think that I would choose the Note 5 as the all-around winner. I think it has a better display, the camera might be slightly better with better 4K performance, and the design is premium and its performance is fantastic. It has wireless and fast charging with a wider angle front-facing camera. The iPhone 6s is also great with 3D Touch and a new 12 megapixel camera with 4K recording, but I don't think Apple did enough this year to beat the Note series as the king of the phablet in the end. So what do you guys think? Which one do you like better, or which one did you end up picking up, and do you agree or disagree? Let me know in the comment section below. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure you slap that like button real quick and subscribe to the channel for more comparisons like this one and a lot more coverage, and I will see you guys in the next video. Thanks for watching.